Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Warning: this video will contain spoilers for the Frank Miller, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, The Golden Child. This video may also contain discussions and/or images of violence, sexual situations, and drug use. Viewing beyond this point is a choice you have made, and you take responsibility for that choice. Thank you, and please have a nice day.
Hello and welcome to this video. I hope everyone's doing well, I hope everyone's having fun, and I hope the universe is treating you fairly. Today we are going to be talking about Frank Miller's, technically a comic book, The Dark Knight, The Golden Child. Dark Knight Returns, The Golden Child. This takes place 3 years after Master Race, which, let me see, we have Dark Knight Returns in 86, Strikes Again, 89, Master Race 92, this is 95. There are some major problems with this, comic. The fact that two of DC's greatest supervillains team up to overthrow a gubernatorial election is only the tip of the iceberg. The story is Frank Miller not being real story driven. This is him complaining about the 2016 election. As I said in previous videos, Frank Miller is one of the last true libertarians. Not the little Gestapo wannabes that call themselves libertarians in this day and age. But he's a true libertarian. And he has problems with both the Democrats and the Republicans, which is, you just read any of his good works, you can see where he bashes on both political parties. But he does it's story driven. A lot of it's done in parallels and innuendo and stuff. In this story, not so much. A dumpster fire would be giving it too much credit. Though the redeeming value, the redeeming part of this comic, and it's a one shot, and the price to get the softback version of it is worth the artwork. The costume designs for 3-year-old Jonathan Kent, Laura Kent, and Carrie Kelly as the new Batwoman. All worth the price of admission. Worth the art if you're into art. If you're into comic book art, I should say. If you're not into comic book art, download JPEG from the internet. There's some really good scenes, some really well drawn stuff. Some of the problems, but not limited to, is we have the Joker. Okay? Is this the Joker that was killed in 1986 in Dark Knight Returns? Or is it a completely new Joker? Someone who's taken the mantle up of the Joker. Frank Miller doesn't care to even want to explain it. The fact that the Joker and probably probably DC's ultimate villain, Darkseid, are teaming up to overthrow gubernatorial election and install, you guessed it, Donald J. Trump as governor. Yeah, really? Really? I mean, he like I said, he is taking 2016 technologies, politics, and all that, and placing it, like I said, 1995. The fact that Jonathan Kent, he's 3 years old, comes across like a 10 or 12-year-old. It's kind of glossed over that for some reason he is developing much faster than a normal human, a normal Kryptonian, a normal Amazon, even though he's male. They kind of just gloss over that. And he comes across as being real creepy. But his powers, the way he does things, the speeches he makes, his banter, it's just, yeah, this is not Frank Miller's best writing. The analogy is that Darkseid is a stand-in for Vladimir Putin. Okay, maybe, I don't know, who wants to destroy America. The Joker is a puppet master of Donald Trump. Like I said, this story, I mean, you're reading the words and your brain is trying to strangle your eyes. Okay, it's, like I said, it's not his best work. The artwork, like I said, to buy the softback version of this, it's worth the price. Like I said, only if you have an enjoyment of comic book art. If you're a casual comic book fan, this may be on your skip list, and probably should be on your skip list. But the art's great. The art is the only thing that's redeeming about it. The fact that they're trying to overthrow they use a gubernatorial election in place of the national election. So evidently in Frank Miller's Batman universe, Donald Trump becomes governor, and becomes a governor and not president. You have riots, you have your left-wing factions and your right-wing factions rioting. Kelly Carey, Laura Kent, and Jonathan Kent are your libertarian stand-ins. They go out, they fight the rioters, you know, the clashes, and they kind of clean up the streets. Dark side and comic book lore and DC comic book lore, Dark side cannot be killed. He can be, his body can be destroyed, and it takes him, depending on what Arthur's universe, you know, decades or millennia or whatever to reform. Usually he reforms when he's needed for a story, and so the story can happen. But other than that, nah. And they play with this a little bit. There's some beautiful visuals of Dark Side in different stages of reforming. At one point he takes over Carrie Kelly's mind, and she eventually breaks free. You have a intellectual standoff between a 3-year-old child and a hundreds of millennia old super being bad guy, and it's, like I said, story wise, this story is a dumpster fire. Well, I should say dumpster fire, like I said earlier. Dumpster fire is giving it too much credit. So this is going to be a shorter than average Genx video. Hell, the intro and the outro may be longer than this actual video, because this was a one-shot, one-issue, like 25-page comic book, and there's not a whole lot to say about it, to be honest with you. It's just, other than it's not good. I got it. I got it because I like comic book. I like the art. I would love to sit down and find the JPEGs of the individual pages, then go in and write your own story, improve Frank Miller's The Golden Child 101, and I imagine if Miller would have taken his time and come up with a more coherent story, a more coherent way of taking it out of reality and writing a story instead of trying to send a political message, or trying to preach to people, I should say, because everything we look at, read, listen to, watch has a political undertone, because the people who write stories, write songs, make television programs, actors, actresses, all those people have political ideologies. It colors the way they do things, and it's there. Whether it's left or right leaning, it is what it is. And this, like I said, is a shining example of it done poorly. Miller, in my opinion, is trying to preach more than he is trying to tell a story. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave this. Like I said, this is a shorter than normal video. I apologize for that, but like I said, there's not a whole lot that can be said about this. If you're not a fan of comic book art, this you may, or you're just a casual comic book reader, I will tell you it should probably be on your skip list. So, with all that being said, remember to be a good human, to be good to other humans. Peace.